so if I say a bad word or a rude word by accident, I'm sorry in advance, guys. Okay, here goes. Peter Piper picked a bag of pickled peppers. A bag of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a bag of pickled peppers, where's the bag of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? I saw Susie sitting in a shoe shine shop. Where she sits, she shines, and where she shines, she sits. Had to be careful with that one. Send toast to 10 stout saints, 10 tall tents. The 33 thieves thought that they thrilled the throne throughout Thursday. Something in a 30-acre thermal thicket of thorns and thistles thumped and thundered, threatening the 3D thoughts of Matthew the thug. Although theatrically it was only the 13,000 thistles and thorns through the underneath of his thigh that the 30-year-old thug thought of that morning. 6 sick hicks nick 6 slick bricks with picks and sticks. There was a fisherman named Fisher who fished for some fish in a fissure, till a fish with a grin pulled the fisherman in. Now they're fishing the fisher for Fisher. To sit in solemn silence in a dull, dark dock in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. To sit in solemn silence in a dull, dark dock in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. A dull, dark dock, a lifelong lock, a short, sharp shock, a big black block. To sit in solemn silence in a pestilential prison, awaiting the sensation from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. That was quite tough, but I liked it. Look, luck, likes, lakes. Look, stuck, likes, lakes. Look, luck, likes, lakes. Luck, stuck, likes, lakes. Duck, take legs and lakes. Look, luck, likes. Look, luck, takes legs and lakes. Ducks, like. I think I said that right. There those 1,000 thinkers were thinking, how did the other 3 thieves go through? 1-1 was a racehorse, 2-2 was 1-2. 1-1-1-1 race, 2-2-1-1-2. If Pickford's packers packed a packet of crisps, would the packet of crisps that Pickford's packers packed survive for 2.5 years? 6 sleek swans swam swiftly southwards. Gobbling gargoyles gobbled gobbling goblins. I will put a link to the website that I'm using this from, and I am not using them all, just looking through them as I go here. How much woodchuck woods, woodchuck chuck, if chuckwoods woodchuck could and woodchuck would, if chuckwoods woodchuck could and woodchuck would, how much wood could and woodchuck woods woodchuck chuck? Chuckwoods woodchuck he would, as much as he could, and chuck as much wood as any woodchuck would, if a woodchuck could and woodchuck would. That was fun. I really like doing these. I used to do drama, and it's a bit like vocal warm-ups. there's a few of these. I stood sadly on the silver steps of Birch's fish sauce shop, mimicking him hiccuping and wildly welcoming him. I'll start again. I stood sadly on the silver steps of Burgess's fish sauce shop, mimicking him hiccuping and wildly welcoming him within. As I was in Arkansas, I saw a saw that could outsaw any saw I ever saw. If you happen to be in Arkansas and see a saw that can outsaw the saw that I saw, I'd like to see the saw you saw. How many berries could a bear berry carry? If a bear berry could carry berries, well, they can't carry berries, which can make you very wary, but a bear berry carried is more scary. That great Greek grape growers grow great Greek grapes. How was that? Reese watched Ross switch his Irish wristwatch for a Swiss wristwatch. How much caramel can a candy cannonball cram in a camel if a candy cannonball can cram caramel in a camel? Yellow butter, purple jelly, red jam, black bread, spread it thick, say it quick. Yellow butter, purple jelly, red jam, black bread, spread it thicker, say it quicker. Yellow butter, purple jelly, red jam, black bread, don't eat with your mouth full. That's fun, that one. The ruddy widow really wants ripe watermelon and red roses when winter arrives. How many sheets could a sheet slitter slit if a sheet slitter could slit sheets? That's funny. Oh, if you're keen on stunning kites and cunning stunts, buy a cunning stunning stunt kite. I'm impressed that I managed to do that one. Out in the pasture, the nature watcher watches the catcher, while the catcher watches the pitcher who pitches the balls. Whether the temperature's up or whether the temperature's down, the nature watcher, the catcher, and the pitcher are always around. The pitcher pitches, the catcher catches, and the watcher watches. So whether the temperature rises or whether the temperature falls, the nature watcher just watches the catcher who's watching the pitcher who's watching the balls. I like that one as well. Excited executioner exercising his excising powers excessively. Oh, Susie Seward's fish. I'll start again. So I told you these were tongue twisters. Susie Seward's let's go. Susie Seward's fish sauce shop sells unsifted thistles for thistle sifters to sift. That was hard. This is another one. She stood on the balcony, inexplicably mimicking him hiccuping and amicably welcoming him in. That's one of those deep, the vocal warm-up ones. You know, the ones that you say they do me, and then they say the tip of the tongue, the teeth and the lips. That's one of those ones for lovies and darlings out there. gushed, gradually giving Gopher's gooey guts. Oh, this one's fun. A tree toad loved a she-toad who lived up in a tree. He was a three-toed tree toad, but a two-toed toad was she. The three-toed tree toad tried to win the two-toed she-toad's heart, for the three-toed tree toad loved the ground that the two-toed tree toad trod. But the three-toed tree toad tried in vain. He couldn't please her whim. From her tree-toed power, with her two-toed power, the she-toad vetoed him. I like that one. These are really fun to say. I hope you guys are liking these. I'm just scrolling down to find some other good ones. People think Thursday is their 30th birthday. As he gobbled the cakes on his plate, the greedy ape said as he ate, the greener green grapes are, the keener keen apes are, to gobble green grape cakes. They're great. That's another Dr. Seuss one. How much myrtle would a wood turtle hurdle if a wood turtle could hurdle myrtle? A wood turtle would hurdle as much myrtle as a wood turtle could hurdle if a wood turtle could hurdle myrtle. Some of these are repeating, so I'm just scrolling down to see if there's any more that I can. A lump of red leather, a red leather lump. We used to say red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry, repeatedly when we were little, or red leather, yellow leather. I'm not a pheasant plucker, I'm a pheasant plucker's son, but I'll be plucking pheasants when the pheasant plucker's gone. There's the Susie one again, but it's longer, so I'll try this one. Susie working in a shoe shine shop. All day long she sits and shines. All day long she shines and sits, and sits and shines, and shines and sits, and sits and shines, and shines and sits. Susie working in a shoe shine shop. Tommy toiling in a tailor's shop. All day long he fits and tucks. All day long he tucks and fits, and fits and tucks, and tucks and fits, and fits and tucks, and tucks and fits. Tommy toiling in a tailor's shop. While we were watching window washers wash Washington's windows with warm washing water. Sweet sagacious Sally Sanders said she sure saw 7 segregated seaplanes sailing swiftly southward Saturday. Betty Potter bought some butter. But, said she, the butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter. But a bit of better butter will make my bitter batter better. So she bought some better butter, better than the bitter butter, put it in her bitter batter, made her bitter batter better. So it was Betty. Better Betty Potter bought some better butter. I just about got through that one. That was fun as well. Oh, this one's going to be hard. There was once a man who had a sister. His name was Mr. Pfister. Mr. Pfister's sister sold seashells by the seashore. Mr. Pfister didn't silk sheets. Mr. Pfister told his sister that he had sold 6 silk sheets to 6 sheiks. The sister of Mr. Pfister said, I sold 6 shells to 6 sheiks too. What noise annoys an oyster most? A noisy noise annoys an oyster most. If a noisy noise annoys an oyster most, then a nasty noise annoys an oyster mostly. That one's tough as well. Miss Smith's fish. Oh, I can't say fish. Try again. Miss Smith's fish sauce shop seldom sells shellfish. If you stick a stock of liquor in your locker, it is like to stick a lock upon your stock. Or some joker whose liquor is going to trick you of your liquor if you fail to lock your liquor with a lock. Sister Susie's sewing shirts for soldiers, such skill as sewing shirts. Her shy young sister Susie shows. Some soldiers sent epistles say they'd rather sleep in thistles than the saucy soft shirts for soldiers Susie's sister sews. When a doctor doctors a doctor,